There are 8 indications that you are a handsome older man, even if you don't believe it is the case. Age gap relationships. Have you ever pondered whether or not you continue to attract attention? People frequently tell us that as we get older, our attractiveness diminishes, or that being noticed is something that is only reserved for those who are young. But the reality is that attractiveness improves over time. There is less of an emphasis placed on having prominent cheekbones or a full head of hair, and more of an emphasis placed on presence, energy, and the way people react to you without even being aware of it. When it comes to attractiveness, being an older man is not about competing with younger men. It's about embracing a kind of attraction that goes deeper, which is reflected in how other people feel about you, how they react to you, and what they secretly admire when they are with you. Although it may not be visible to you, it is visible to others. In this video, we are going to discuss 8 indicators that indicate that you are a good-looking older man. Even if you do not perceive it yourself, each indicator tells something significant. Whether it is the way in which women respond to you during talks or the subtle ways in which strangers glance in your direction. Rather than being based on vanity or chance, these indications are based on actual behaviors and responses that represent something that is both timeless and present in your presence. The best thing is that many of these indicators are the result of attributes that you have acquired through living. A kind of appeal that doesn't diminish with the passage of time but rather develops stronger. Make sure you stay tuned until the very end, because if you are able to recognize these indicators, you may finally be able to view yourself in the same way that others already do. And in the process, you may find that your confidence is rejuvenated. The time has come to get started. First and foremost, younger women experience a sense of contentment and are naturally drawn to your presence. One of the most obvious indications that you are still a handsome man, even in your later years, is the manner in which younger ladies behave when they are in your presence. It's possible that you won't notice it immediately away, but if they appear to be experiencing an uncommon level of comfort in your presence, it's not coincidence. They might participate in the conversation for a somewhat longer period of time, laugh more freely, or appear to be truly interested in the stories you tell, not simply because of your words, but also because of something more subtle, your presence. These are subtle indications that people feel safe and intrigued by you personally. When it comes to younger women, in particular, older guys who exude calmness, maturity, and a constant energy seem to be more attractive than younger ones. These characteristics are extremely appealing, particularly in a world that is characterized by speedy speech and restless energy. Generally speaking, if a lady thinks that she can be herself with you, it indicates that she is recognizing a concealed strength that many other people fail to recognize. Consider the case of Michael, who is 72 years old and acts as a volunteer at a community garden in the area. He does not make an effort to be charming. He is not flamboyant, and he does not take the initiative in group chats very often. Nevertheless, it appears that the younger women who are employed there nevertheless manage to find their way toward him. One of the things that they do is inquire about the most effective method for planting tomatoes, give some details about their day, or remain for a few minutes longer after their shift is finished. Michael is not one to flirt or boast, but he is one to listen. In addition, he is considerate and friendly when he is speaking. They pull toward that unspoken ease, that sense of emotional safety, and it captures their attention. The issue that people are reacting to is not about how they appear on the outside. When people are in his presence, he has the ability to make them feel a certain way. They are lured in regardless of whether or not he is aware of it. It is not necessary to be tall, tough, or dressed in a sharp manner in order to draw the attention of another person. The virtues of grace, patience, and resilience begin to radiate from you in ways that you are not even aware of when you have gone through life with these characteristics demonstrated. Everyone is aware of that fact. They become closer to you while you speak. They reflect your tone exactly. It seems as though they are able to unwind. It is not about making more of an effort. Being comfortable with oneself is the key to success. and that ease turns into a magnetic force. Therefore, if you notice that younger women appear to be exceptionally at ease in your presence, if they open up to you, or if they simply enjoy being in your company for no apparent reason, it is possible that they are responding to something that they perceive in you, rather than in how you appear. It is in the way that you carry yourself, and there is no denying the fact that this is a major indicator of beauty. Second, you are frequently complimented on your appearance, whether it is your grooming or your clothing. Despite the fact that it could appear to be insignificant, it is not a coincidence if people continue to compliment you on how you look, how well you groom yourself, or even how you smell. This is the recognition. Compliments regarding your appearance, particularly when they are directed at an older man, frequently indicate that other people find you interesting in a manner that is memorable. It is not about attempting to seem younger or wasting time trying to follow trends. Owning your own personal style and demonstrating that you continue to take pride in how you express yourself are both important aspects of this. The way in which you take care of yourself says volumes, and more people notice it than you would believe they do. Let us take into consideration a person like Thomas, who is 74 years old and is well known in his community for always looking sharp. He is not a flashy person. He simply has the ability to make a button-down shirt, a clean shave, and a button-down shirt look sophisticated. Although he does not wear anything that is exceptionally pricey, he is well aware of what is a good fit for him. His shoes are neatly polished at all times. When he grows a beard, it is usually properly manicured, and his aroma is not overpowering but quite pleasant. Quite frequently, people will tell you that you always seem so put together, or that there is something about you that is simply elegant. The thing that they are really seeing, however, is the quiet care that he takes for himself. This care, especially at his age, is a show of self-respect, confidence, and intention. Individuals are drawn to these characteristics by their very nature. It is important to understand that when someone compliments your appearance, whether it be your attire, your grooming, or even just the way you smell, it indicates that they have observed something about your presence that is polished and beautiful. There is more to these compliments than just attractiveness. What matters is how you make other people feel while they are in your presence. Your communication conveys the notion that I am still concerned about you. To this day, I continue to show up, and I have not allowed the years to lower my expectations. It is much more appealing to have the energy of consistency, attention, and self-value than it is to have any designer, label, or gym-toned body. The vast majority of the time, these compliments are not offered in a manner that is pleasant. Due to the fact that your presentation stands out, they are uttered with total honesty. When you care about how you show yourself, others read it as a deeper sort of confidence, one that says, "This is who I am, and I like who I am." This is because we live in a world where many people give up because they have given up trying. That is very effective. Certainly, that is pretty. If you have ever dismissed those praises or thought they didn't mean anything to you, you should reconsider your previous actions. They are transmissions. In spite of the fact that you have not made the effort to observe how other people see you, they are reflections of how other people see you. And if someone tells you that you look beautiful, that you smell fantastic, or that you've got a good sense of style, take a moment to let that sink in because they're recognizing something in you that many don't express out loud. I would appreciate it if you could use the second comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. There are 3 instances in which you observe individuals giving you prolonged second glances. There are times when the most obvious symptoms are not communicated at all. An indication that other people think you attractive is when they gaze at you for a slightly longer period of time than they normally would. This is one of the most telling clues. Indeed, it is not always evident. Whether it be a casual glance that is held for an excessive amount of time in the grocery store, a subtle double take at the coffee shop, or a smile that stays on someone's face after you go by. It is possible that it will occur. There is frequently something more that can be uncovered in these seemingly little moments. You have left a powerful impression. And whether or not individuals are willing to admit it, the eyes are frequently the first place where attraction is displayed. Take for example Raymond, who is 76 years old and frequently visits a peaceful cafe in the vicinity of his home. He is not there to attract attention to himself. In the morning, all he does is enjoy a cup of coffee and a good book. Despite this, the barista always smiles warmly as he walks in the door. In addition to this, he has seen that she frequently glances in his direction while she is working. There are moments when other customers look over as well, particularly when he chuckles or stands up to depart the establishment. One day, he overheard a woman, who was most likely in her late 50s, observing him from the other side of the room. At that moment, their eyes locked for a brief moment, and she hastily averted her gaze, but, before she did so, she gave away a little smile. Raymond had not spoken a single word to her, but his serene presence and the manner in which he held himself had already conveyed a great deal of information. The fact that these looks are not the result of being flashy or loud is the most crucial thing to note here. There is a more subdued and significant source from which they originate. The manner in which you move, the position in which you sit, and the way in which your eyes rest on the objects around you all send a message. It indicates that you are rooted. This demonstrates that you have persevered through life and emerged with dignity. This is something that people take note of, particularly women, who are frequently more sensitive to subtle hints than you might believe they are. It's not simply a visual thing. A lingering glance is also an emotional one. In other words, it indicates that someone experienced something in your presence that drew them in. Even if it was just for a brief while, it is obvious that not every gaze is a sign of interest. However, it is important to pay attention to it when it occurs frequently. When you notice that people are looking for a little bit longer than usual, despite the fact that they may not approach you or make any kind of statement, the way in which they look at you conveys a message that you possess a certain kind of energy and a presence that is not overlooked. Therefore, if you find that you are able to capture the attention of another person more frequently than it appears to be a coincidence, and if there is a little pause before they turn away, it may be time to start viewing yourself in the same manner that others do, because you are leaving an impression without even making an effort to do so. That calm magnetism, on the other hand, is one of the most powerful forms of appeal that now exists. You are regularly asked for your advice or perspective, which brings us to the fourth point. It may not appear to be related to your physical attractiveness, but the frequency with which others seek your opinion or rely on you for counsel is a significant indicator of how they perceive you about your personal appearance. When other people come to you for guidance on a regular basis, whether it be on life, relationships, or even little decisions, it is because they detect something trustworthy, balanced, and compelling in the way that you carry yourself. They are not simply inquiring about knowledge, rather, they are reacting to the self-assurance, wisdom, and emotional steadiness that you exude. Moreover, even if no one admits it out loud, that quiet authority has a magnetic effect on others around them. Imagine a person like George, who is 78 years old and lives in a very small retirement community there. Even though he is not the most outspoken individual in the room and he does not offer counsel until it is specifically requested, people always manage to make their way to him. George is the person that people talk to when they are going through a difficult circumstance with their family. A neighbor will knock on George's door if they are uncertain about a decision about their health or a step regarding their finances. When he was going through difficult moments in his life, a younger member of the staff approached him and asked him how he made decisions. "I have the impression that you have a clear understanding of the situation." George did not show any signs of pride, rather, he just conveyed what he was aware of. However, Occurrences such as that were not isolated incidents for him. And despite the fact that he never considered himself to be a particularly attractive man, the respect and attention that he garnered spoke a different story. People are drawn to someone who has a sense of being grounded, someone who acts as a good listener, someone who thinks before speaking, and someone who delivers opinions that are based on experience rather than ego. In addition, it is true that appearance is strongly tied to that draw, yet it is not in the sense that the world typically describes attractiveness. Simply because presence is something that many people find attractive, particularly as we get older. This is the kind that is not earned but rather earned. There is a certain kind of beauty in the moment when you walk into a room and people move slightly toward you. Not out of fear or admiration, but because they feel more stable just because they are aware that you are there. Moreover, this kind of allure does not diminish over time. The truth is that it becomes deeper over time. What people are saying about you, how they are leaning in toward you, and what they are questioning you about is a mirror of how they perceive you. Despite the fact that they are unsure of the precise reason for their reaction, they are responding to the fact that they are seeing strength, intelligence, and warmth all rolled into one. Therefore, if you find yourself in talks in which individuals start with a simple question and wind up talking for a much longer period of time than you anticipated, or if someone says, "I don't know why I'm telling you this," but take note, you are not only being appreciated, but you are also being seen. It's possible that what people see in you is more attractive than anything you could have ever imagined being attractive. I would appreciate it if you could use the 4th comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. You exude an air of natural ease and self-assurance. Which brings us to the 5th point. One of the attributes that is considered to be among the most quietly attractive in any guy, particularly as he gets older, is a calm and steady presence that does not attempt to draw attention but rather smoothly earns it. It's not the kind of confidence that needs to be demonstrated in any significant way. The kind that is evident in the manner in which you approach a room. The fact that you listen more than you speak, and the fact that you maintain your composure even when others are not. This kind of effortless nature has a magnetic effect. People are able to sense that you are not attempting to be someone else and that you are aware of who you are. Which is another reason why it makes them feel more at ease. A good example would be someone like Harold 81, who goes to the weekly social gathering that his church hosts. In the chats, he does not take the lead. He does not tell jokes in order to attract attention. He simply turns up, extends a friendly greeting to those around him, and listens with a quiet attention. Nevertheless, if you pay great attention, you will notice something more. When he speaks, some people lean in closer. When he is close by, these people smile a little bit more easily. What's more, when he makes a statement, people pause to listen to it. Not very tall is Harold. He is not exceptionally athletic in any way. On the other hand, he exudes a strength that is difficult to put into words. It is a presence that does not require one to yell in order to be perceived. Establishing this level of self-assurance is not a quick process. This is something that can only be achieved after years of persevering through challenging times. Gaining wisdom from mistakes, and realizing that you do not need to control everything in order to feel secure. Whether it be in your posture, the pace at which you walk, or the manner in which you shake someone's hand, it is evident. In addition, people, particularly women, are aware of it, even if they don't actually say it. They may feel it. Rarely does one come across a man who is completely at ease with himself. To add insult to injury, when that man also possesses a sense of humor, generosity, and self-respect, he transforms into someone that other people instinctively gravitate toward. You don't have to be the loudest voice or the dominant person in a room in order to be noticed. However, The contrary is frequently the case. Other people are more likely to feel at ease being themselves in your presence when you exude an air of quiet confidence. They have a strong sense of being understood, heard, and judged less. As a result, that comfort turns into a mirror. As time goes on, they start to perceive you as someone unique and someone they would like to be around. Your energy is grounding since it is not chaotic that you have. And there is something that is very stunning. Take it as a sign if you've seen that others enjoy being in your presence. That they are more likely to open up to you, or that they appear to be more at ease when you're around. You are doing something good without really making an effort to do so. And that type of unwavering self-assurance is one of the most alluring characteristics that a man can ever possess. Particularly when it is a quality that is lived in rather than one that is feigned. You are in good physical condition for your age. Which brings us to the sixth point. In spite of the fact that your hair may grow gray or your skin may begin to wrinkle, attractiveness does not diminish. In point of fact, the shape that you maintain for yourself is one of the most obvious indications that you continue to attract attention. Not because you are longing for youth, but rather because you have made the conscious decision to maintain your strength, capability, and vitality as the years pass. A lot of people, particularly women, are aware of this. It's possible that they won't comment directly on your biceps or your posture. But they will say something like, "You look great for your age," or, "I hope I'm in that kind of shape when I'm older." Compliments like these are not meaningless. They are indications that the manner in which you take care of yourself has a significant impact. An example of someone who does this would be Leonard, who is 75 years old and walks through the park in the neighborhood every morning. Despite the fact that he does not jog or power walk, his speed is consistent. He maintains a straight back. His steps are confident, and he always has a gentle grin for individuals who are making their way by. During the course of one morning, a woman whom he had never encountered before approached him and said, "You always look like you've got somewhere to be, but in a good way." She chuckled, but Leonard understood what she was trying to say. He distinguished out for his liveliness. The manner in which he moved exuded a feeling of purpose, strength, and a silent confidence in his abilities. In addition, despite the fact that he had not considered himself to be particularly fit, the manner in which other people reacted to his presence revealed a different story. That is the main point. Being physically fit does not need you to engage in activities such as lifting big weights or running marathons. It can be seen in the ease with which you are able to carry groceries, the ease with which you are able to stand up from a chair, the steadiness of your walk, the way in which your shoulders sit back, and the lightness in your step. The motions that you perform on a daily basis reveal a great deal about your physical health and power. To a greater extent than you may realize, they are connected to the degree to which other people find you beautiful. Maintaining a healthy body is not about putting on a display. It is about maintaining a connection with your body and treating it as if it were something that persists in being significant. When you move with great strength and agility, people will take notice of you. They perceive someone who has not given up, someone who is still very much alive, active, and engaged in the situation being discussed. Your energy, posture, and even the way you speak all give me a clear indication of this. You exude life, and that quality alone has the potential to be absolutely captivating. It is also important to note that when other people observe you making an effort to maintain your health, not out of vanity but out of respect for yourself, it conveys a message. It expresses that I appreciate myself. Even if no one really says it out loud, that message will have a profound impact. And people enjoy being in close proximity to that kind of energy. Therefore, if you are the kind of man who still stretches first thing in the morning, who walks frequently, who eats properly, or who stays active in your own unique way, you might be accomplishing more than just remaining healthy. It is possible that you are bringing to the attention of others as well as yourself the fact that beauty and power do not diminish over time, rather, they simply develop, and they become more powerful in many other ways. I would appreciate it if you could use the 6th comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. As a 7th point, your sense of humor is contagious, and people take pleasure in laughing around you. There is something that makes a man particularly beautiful if his sense of humor is able to elicit genuine laughter from other people, particularly when that humor is unforced, friendly, and never forced. If you notice that others grin more when you talk, or if they laugh at even your corny jokes, there is a good likelihood that they are enjoying you more than they are enjoying the joke. The ability to laugh has the ability to express comfort. It conveys the message that I am content in this location, even when no one is consciously considering it. One of the most significant indicators of attractiveness is the emotional ease that is created by your presence and your sense of humor. This is a clue that is frequently unspoken, but is powerfully felt. Imagine someone like Dennis, who is 80 years old and always has a humorous joke or a witty observation. Even in the most mundane of circumstances, when he arrives at the diner where he eats breakfast, the waitress smiles at him before he even opens his lips to speak. When other customers in the vicinity hears him saying something as simple as, "This toast is almost as dry as my love life," they laugh out loud. Not the statement itself, but the delivery, the self-awareness, and the glint in his eye are what make him stand out. There is no attempt made by Dennis to be the life of the party. His presence simply throws a sense of light into the room, and people react to it. To understand that this form of humor does not require being brilliant or rehearsed is something that is very important to keep in mind. To be more precise, the less polished it is, the more authentic it appears to be. When you tell a joke to someone, particularly one that makes light of yourself or encourages others to unwind, you are demonstrating emotional intelligence. It seems that you are suggesting that we do not need to take life so seriously at this moment. Such a form of energy is extremely uncommon and incredibly appealing. When you make women laugh, even at the most insignificant of things, it indicates that they are comfortable letting their guard down around you. The reason they are laughing is not to be nice. There is something about your presence that makes people feel at ease. And that is the reason why they are laughing. In addition, the foundation of connection is easiness. There is a possibility that they will be unable to articulate it, but they will remember the way that you made them feel, and they will want to be in the same environment again. Therefore, if you have ever observed that someone laughs at your jokes more than you anticipated, or if people appear to actually love the way that you tell a tale or deliver a punchline, even when it is a dad joke, you should not dismiss it as a coincidence. However, that is not merely a reaction. There is a reflection of how others perceive you in that you are self-assured, accessible, and charming in your own unique manner. You are capable of generating laughter, which is more than simply a fleeting moment of happiness. This provides a glimpse into your personality. When you do this, you demonstrate to other people that you are emotionally open, that you are not scared to be fun, and that you place a higher emphasis on connection than control. You may not be aware of it, but in a world where there is a lot of noise, the fact that you have the ability to make people smile in a quiet way may be one of the most powerful indications that your presence continues to attract attention. In the 8th place, you become aware of subtle flirtatious actions that are directed toward you. Despite the fact that you might not consider yourself to be the type of person who is easily flirted with, there are instances when the most obvious indicators of attraction are the ones that you have ignored for years. Flirtation takes place after the age of 60, and it does not usually involve daring gestures or showy remarks. In most cases, it is unobtrusive, tactful, and respectful, but it is definitely intentional. In your presence, a woman may find herself brushing her hair behind her ear more frequently. When you are having a discussion with her, she might imitate your stance. Laugh a little bit more than the joke calls for, or lightly touch your arm slightly. These actions might appear to be little, but they frequently convey a great deal of information. Interest is suggested by them. Furthermore, they demonstrate that other people see something in you, even if you haven't seen it in yourself. This is the case the majority of the instances. Let's take a person like Edward, who is 79 years old and goes to the library in his community on a monthly basis to listen to stories. It is never his intention to stand out in a manner that is both friendly and humble. He simply offers his stories. But as time went on, he became aware of something. Always sitting next to him was a woman who appeared to be in her early 60s. She regularly smiled at him before he even had a chance to speak. She would strike up brief chats with him during breaks, and she would frequently lightly touch his shoulder when she were smiling or agreeing with him. Her gaze, the way she positioned her body toward him, and the way she seemed to stay after the event was done all gave the impression that she was interested in him. Even though she never said anything openly, Edward never thought of himself as a flirt magnet. But what he failed to comprehend was that he didn't have to be one in order to attract women. The softness of his voice, the thoughtfulness of his eyes, and the way he made other people feel were sufficient. This particular manner of body language is not arbitrary. It's a natural tendency. In many cases, it is more truthful than words. Women, particularly as they become older, develop a greater sensitivity to the need of offering subtle hints rather than making strong assertions. In addition to having respect for themselves, they want to be able to show their interest in a manner that is not only safe but also seems natural. While a woman makes movements such as making frequent eye contact, copying your actions, leaning in while you speak, or lightly caressing your arm when you are laughing, she may be implying that she sees something in you without actually stating it. The gestures in question are neither manipulative nor superficial, using them as a method of establishing connections. A gentle touch might convey the message that I am at ease in your presence. I can tell that you have my attention by simply smiling for a moment longer than necessary. Additionally, when you observe these indicators not just once, but multiple times, it is important to think about what they are trying to tell you. Mostly due to the fact that it indicates that someone perceives your presence, your maturity, and your energy as something magnetic. It is possible that you are missing the truth if you have ever dismissed a compliment or lingering glance as nothing more than politeness, or if you have ever concluded that it was probably nothing at all. It is possible that you are still the recipient of someone's silent admiration, and their actions, regardless of how subtle they may be, are frequently much more sincere than anything that is publicly announced. It is important to remember that the next time someone touches your sleeve, matches your body language, or holds your stare for a bit longer than you anticipated, you should not automatically disregard its significance. You might be observing a reality that you hadn't given yourself permission to acknowledge, which is that you are still perceived as attractive, that you continue to attract people's attention, and that you continue to turn heads in ways that are significantly more significant than you ever realized. Lastly, some thoughts. The truth is as follows. The majority of older men never hear the world whispering your attractiveness through glances, gestures, gentle smiles, and lengthy talks. Sure, the world may not shout your attractiveness from the rooftops, but it whispers it continuously. You don't have to transform into someone else, dress like you're on the cover of a magazine, or chase after youth. You have already established yourself as someone who carries weight, making you someone who attracts attention without requesting it. Every time you make someone laugh, every time you discreetly receive a compliment, and every time someone decides to stand a little closer to you. These are all indicators that your attraction has not diminished. It reached maturity. It is common for us to grow up believing that beauty is loud and evident, yet, as we get older, beauty becomes more subtle, it becomes more profound, and it becomes something that you feel more than see. If you have identified even one of these 8 indicators in your own life, there is a good chance that you have been turning heads without even being aware of it. Because of the man you've become, Not because of the clothes you wear or the way your hair looks, but because of who you are. Stable, genuine, and self-assured in ways that can only be learned by experience. Now, if you found yourself recognizing something in this video, remember to carry that with you. With the knowledge that your presence is important, you should come into your day with your head held a little higher. Also, keep in mind that being attractive after the age of 60 is not about attempting to draw attention, rather, it is about realizing that you already are lovely. If what I've shared with you struck a chord, I encourage you to subscribe to our community and become a member. In this episode, we discuss real topics for real men who have had real lives. If you made it to the end of the episode, please leave a comment below. If you are still drawing attention to yourself, then you should just say it. We appreciate you being here with us today. It would be wonderful if you could get in touch with us. Please leave a comment below and tell us about one item you discovered today and how you intend to put it to use in your life right now. We place a high value on your opinions, so please do not be reluctant to share them with us. Our inspiration and encouragement are greatly increased as a result of reading your remarks. I would appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it to be informative and enjoyable. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. We appreciate you taking the time to watch, and we hope to see you in the future video.